we good?
Oh, here comes Eddie.
Announcements. All open sessions of the Board of Trustees are recorded and streamed in real time at www.fuhsd.net. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at 4:30 p.m. at Fallbrook Union High School Library, 2400 South Stagecoach Lane, Fallbrook, California, 92028. I'm going to announce the closed session agenda: Public Employment, Discipline, Dismissal, and Release, Government Code, Section 54957. Conference with legal counsel pending litigation, Government Code, Section 54956.9D1. Case number 001-2526. Case number 002-2526. And claim number 25-06255. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.9D2. Conference with labor negotiations, Government Code Sections 54957.6. District negotiators, Ilsa Garza Gonzalez, Superintendent. Employee organizations, FHSTA and SEIU. Unrepresented employees, classified management, certificated management, and confidential employees. And last on the closed agenda is the superintendent evaluation and contract. Opportunity for members of the public to address the board on any item described in this agenda for the closed session. Opportunity will be granted for open sessions will be now. Do we have any closed session comments?
We do not.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and adjourn the closed session. Thank you. And reconvene an open session at 5:41 p.m. Announcements. All open sessions of the Board of Trustees are recorded and streamed in real time at www.fuhsd.net. Can we please rise for the flag? Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Board of Trustees, Oscar Caralampio, President. I'm present. Eddie Jones, Vice President.
Present.
Tona Rodarte, Clerk.
Present.
Paul Christensen, Trustee, is absent. And Chris Haskell, Trustee.
Present.
Thank you. Student Board Representatives, welcome. Charlize Polson,
Present.
Kara Hart,
Present.
and Emma Fierro.
Present.
Thank you. Superintendent Ilsa Garza Gonzalez.
Present.
Thank you. Informal review of governing team norms. The Board of Trustees approved norms are that we be respectful, be approachable, be open-minded, be communicative with no surprises, be willing to listen, be prepared, and be trustworthy. Report from closed session. Employment, public employment discipline dismissal, and release government code section 54957, nothing to report. Conference with legal counsel pending litigation. In a vote of 4-0, the board denied case number 001-2526. In a vote of 4-0, the board denied case number 002-2526. And in a vote of 4-0, the board denied case number, claim number 25-06-255. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.92, nothing to report. Conference with labor negotiations, Government Code Section 54957.6, District Negotiator Ilsa Garza Gonzalez, Superintendent, Employee Organizations, FHSTA, and SEIU. Unrepresented employees, classified management, certificated management, and confidential employees. Last, we spoke about the superintendent evaluation and contract. Now we will adopt the agenda. Can I get a motion?
I'll move to adopt the agenda as presented for the September 10th, 2025 meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Rodarte, second by Mr. Jones. Any comments or questions? None. Student Board Representatives, Ms. Polson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Hart?
Aye.
And Ms. Fierro?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Caralampio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
And Ms. Rodarte?
Aye.
Recognitions. We will now recognize Fallbrook High School CTE Culinary Pathway students, Mr. Santa Cruz, culinary instructor.
Yes, I don't know if we have any of our culinary students here right now. Yes, they can come in. Our culinary students have a budget that they are provided by the board, and they prepare dinner on certain board meetings. And when they do, we invite them to come in and tell us the process that they went through to create the menu, to put the items together, and to thank them, because the meals that they prepare are much better than the ones that we purchase, and we really enjoy them. So Mr. Cruz and students, if you can come forward. And if you could share the process that you went about putting together tonight's delicious meal.
Go ahead. Tell them what you made.
Today we made Philly cheesesteak sandwiches for whoever enjoyed them, and they were pretty fun. We got in there, we did them pretty fast. We had like 45 minutes to get all of our mise en place done and then get on the grill to start everything. So it was all finished in time, and I had a fun time doing it. We had a fun time.
Yeah.
Stefan, what did you work on?
We also had some sweet potato fries with they were sweetened with mix of savory and sweet. Got to fry them up again.
Just want to say thank you, and I want to apologize to the board. Right after work, I came and I just munched out. You know, it was so delicious. I just kept eating and eating. So thank you, and my apologies.
Thank you.
No need, I pretty much munched out too. Those sandwiches were incredible. They were like better than any restaurant in the area I can think of. So really, really well done.
Thank
Well,
you.
and you left it out, but I believe you baked your own bread for the sandwiches, correct?
Yes, correct. We're also doing it again tomorrow for a class. So, yeah. We're glad you guys enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Fallbrook's Finest for September 2025, Community Recognition, Girls Fallbrook High School Booster Moms.
If I could have the board and student board reps step in front of the dais. So we are doing something different with Fallbrook's Finest. Usually we give a certificate, but we wanted to start presenting our groups that we recognize, something a little different and a little bit, that carries a little bit more of how we feel. So we have challenge coins, Fallbrook Union High School District challenge coins, that we are awarding to those that are recognized. So tonight I'd like to take a moment to recognize a group whose dedication to our student athletes goes far beyond the sidelines, the Fallbrook High School Field Hockey Booster Club. This team of committed parents and supporters consistently shows up, not just with resources, but with heart. They advocate for our student athletes, celebrate their growth, and ensure that our field hockey program continues to thrive in one of the most competitive divisions in the region. This year, the Booster Club, and in particular, the following parents, and if you can step forward when I call your name, along with Coach Palmer, Kelly Mokel, Kara Angelopoulos, and I know I probably butchered that, I apologize, Liz Schmier and Becky Hamblin, took their support one step further by nominating our women's field hockey team for the One More Win Foundation, led by Jessie Lozano. Their nomination was powerful, heartfelt, and deeply reflective of the challenges and grit our athletes face. It read in part, Fallbrook High School Women's Field Hockey is a proud and hardworking program and competes in a very high-level division against teams with clubs in their area, an advantage that Fallbrook does not have. Face masks protect defensive players during penalty corners, and we could really use new face masks for our brave athletes. Thanks to this initiative, our team was selected and the impact was immediate. Our student athletes received the face masks. I understand that they are top of the line and the most modern face masks available to student athletes. Warm-ups, pizza, and other goodies that not only boosted morale, but reinforced what we all believe, that they are seen, valued, and supported. To the Booster Club, thank you for your advocacy, your generosity, and your unwavering belief in our students. You helped create a moment that these student athletes will never forget, and you've reminded us all what community support can truly look like. To Jessie Lozano and the One More Win Foundation, thank you for lifting up local programs like ours and for investing in the safety, spirit, and success of student athletes across the region. I left out that he also provided like a goal net so that we don't have to use lacrosses, or you don't have to use lacrosses anymore. To Coach Palmer, thank you for all that you do for our student athletes, modeling proper behavior and sportsmanship, and for holding your athletes to high academic and behavioral standards. And to our women's field hockey team, and I don't know if any of you are here, but if you are, come forward so people know what our amazing team is made up of, who makes them up. Go Warriors, and we're proud of you. Thank you.
We can get together for a picture, please. Get cozy. Yeah, he It looks like you can come forward if you want. Mr. Jones, thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay.
Congratulations again, and I'm looking forward to bringing my second graders out to one of these games. Next, presentations. Report from SEIU, Maura Bauer.
Hi, good evening, board and guests. I have a few brief updates from SEIU 221. One of the big ones, we are so proud of our MOT department. We recently had a Williams compliance visit on campus here, and our MOT was given a good or passing mark immediately that day for all the hard work that they did on our campus. That is completely made of classified employees down there, except for our director, of course. And they were very busy and working very hard around campus all summer long to get things corrected and in the best possible shape for our students to come back on campus, and also for this compliant visit. So we applaud them. They did a great job. We also have negotiations beginning tomorrow, so we're really looking forward to that. We spent a lot of time on our proposals, the different articles and sections that we'll be including in that. And we hope to have some positive changes for our employees who work here, as well as our community and our students who attend schools here. We are all stronger when we work together. I'd also like to give a shout out to our paraprofessionals. I've gotten the chance to sit on a few interview panels recently. We are in the process of hiring some new people and some new faces in there, which is great. But our paras who are in there now are working so hard. And I wanted to recognize them for that. There are a few paras who are covering multiple classes, so they're spending half a period in one and then going to another, or alternating days to make sure that our students have appropriate coverage. And there are some where they're just working extra diligently until those new people get hired and their background checks are all completed. So that's all I brought for us tonight. Hopefully you'll be hearing from us soon with good news about our negotiations, and I'm sure the superintendent will keep you updated on those as well. Do we have any questions?
None. Thank you. Next, we have a presentation, Attendance Awareness Month, Jessica Solano, Supervisor of Attendance.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Solano, Supervisor of Attendance. Begin. Perfect. I will just start by highlighting that this month is Attendance Awareness Month, and we are focused and dedicated to every student being connected on campus. Attendance Awareness Month will last the whole month, and we will have different incentives for our students. Chronically absent, why attendance matters is chronically absent students are at 10%. That is when it's considered attendance, and we'll wait for the rest. My apologies. While we wait for technical difficulties, I want to highlight what the causes of poor attendance. These are the reflections and findings of the school year 2024-2025. Broke them down into school-related factors, social factors, and family and personal factors. The school-related factors of poor attendance have been transportation issues, feeling disengaged. Social factors have been unstable housing, lack of connection on campus, and the family and personal factors are sibling care, students needing to work, and health needs. And like I said, there were other indicators, but these are the top three causes and findings for the school year 2024-2025. The approach, what we did and what we learned. We did home visits. Every home visit was with a purpose. At Fallbrook High School, we did over 100 home visits. At Ivy, we did 23. We held 25 SART meetings and 13 at Ivy. The reflection of that work was we partnered with different trusted adults to do weekly check-ins with the students for 6 weeks and referred students to mental health support along with community resources. And one of our biggest, as you saw, one of the barriers is transportation. So we partnered up with North County Transit Center and issued Pronto cards to our students. We also conducted summer outreach to our incoming ninth graders. And as a reflection, we began this work by collaborating with the elementary school district. Our current interventions is our biggest model this year is connecting students with 3 trusted adults on campus and looking at the student as a whole. Family, school, and the community. Collaborating with the elementary school district for the incoming 9th graders. And taking a holistic approach. Communicating with teachers. As the incoming 9th graders, there was a list of 40 students, so every teacher for that particular student was notified that they are at risk for being chronically absent. And we began the work for our attendance campaign kickoff. This summer, we met with the social worker and reflected on the previous interventions that were done at Potter Junior High. We received 40 students that were chronically absent. And after that, we reached out by families via email, phone call, conducted home visits, and then connected the families with other resources like nurse, counselor, administrators, and then met with the 9th graders the first 6 weeks. As it has been shown that the first month of absences will be a reflection for the whole year. So we're really focusing on those 6 weeks with meeting with the students. Our campaign theme is Everyday Counts, and we have 3 purposes, which is parent and community outreach. We have an open communication with the parents. Like I said, it'd be a parent square, email, phone calls, and then partnering up with community organizations that can meet the child where they need. And collaborating, once again, with the elementary school district for the family as a whole. Student engagement, we've definitely teamed up our previous chronically absent students and for them to become peer mentors to our incoming 9th graders. We also have staff mentors. And we, like I said, have recognition programs for our students. Any questions?
None. none for me, just thank you for the work that you do. I know that you're reaching out to some of our most vulnerable students, and it can be a little difficult sometimes, so appreciate you. Gracias.
Thank you.
You, on the blue slide here, you talked about, no, maybe it was the next one. You did home visits. I think you said 100 for Fallbrook High School. It's on this
Yes.
next page. My question is, how many attempts? You were able to make 100 home visits. Did you reach out to 120, or was it, how are those received? Are people receptive to those and let you talk to them?
A few were challenging, so a couple of those home visits, we had to do multiple, basically in the morning, we broke down a morning shift and an afternoon shift. So if we did not hit that student in the morning, we went in the afternoon. And we collaborated with my Director of Student Services for the most challenging home visits, as we needed extra support.
That's all the questions I have. I think this is a really important topic. We know that chronic absenteeism and grades kind of work in opposite directions. That's kind of the tipping point of when academics start to fall off. So I think it's really important, and I want to thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I also, oh, sorry, go ahead. I also want to just mention that I think it's really smart that we're partnering with the elementary school district, because I think a lot of times the difficulties students face are when they switch from one school to another. So elementary to middle school to high school. So I think just again, all the being separated by friends or family, like my grandsons, they've always been in elementary school together. This year, one's in middle school and one's in elementary school, and that was an emotional concern. So I think the fact that that's happening, that partnership at the lower levels, and I know the middle schools are doing that with the elementary schools. So I think that's really good. And then two, just really hit it on early in the school year and really kind of develop that positive feedback loop is so crucial. So I'm really glad to see that we're doing that, and we'll look forward to
Yes.
seeing how it works throughout the year.
Of course. Any other questions? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have public comments. The Fallbrook Union High School District Board of Education encourages and invites the public to comment on agenda and non-agenda items. Individual speakers will be limited to 3 minutes per legislation 1292. The board will give twice the allotted time to a member of the public who utilizes translating technology assistance to address the board. The total public input on any one subject will be limited to 20 minutes and may be extended at the discretion of the board president. Comments on the non-agenda items will be heard at this time. Comments on an agenda item may be taken at this time or when the agenda item is discussed by the board. Speakers will be called in order by topic and when card is submitted. The district's silence should not be mistaken for agreement with public comments. Rather, the board remains silent to comply with California law, avoid legal entanglements, and/or protect the privacy of those involved. Do we have any public comments?
We do. Our first speaker, Martha, regarding termination of coach, I think is what it says.
Good evening. So, I am Coach Dean's spouse, and I am here to let you know how much this termination has affected not only him, but our family. Dean loves not only the sport, but every one of his players. He is a coach not only on the field, but off of the field. Even as a father figure to some of those boys, his phone is always ringing after school and practice hours from students reaching out to him for guidance on school and even personal advice. Seeing what he is going through is not only able to help is, sorry, it is hard on me because of what I'm seeing him go through. He has dedicated his time and effort for the boys. Not only that, but October 25th, 25th, we had a baby. That was a going away game. He left the hospital to be there for the kids. And that, I did not stop him because I knew how much this sport and these kids and the family means to him. I honestly pray that y'all reconsider his termination and really look into this, because not only is he a good coach, but he is a good friend. And a lot of the kids do stand by him. And I stand by him as well because I've seen how late he stays with these games and with the phone calls when he has to leave home to go help someone else. So with that, I would love for you guys to honestly reconsider this, and I really hope and pray that you guys do look into this more. Thank you.
Natalie Pete, football coach termination.
Evening. My name is Natalie Pete. I'm coming here today not as a parent of a player, but as the president of the Football Booster Club. I'm speaking today on behalf of all the parents and players of the Football Booster Club. Today, and even before today, parents and even student players have come to me asking what and why this is happening to Coach Dean. And I have no answers for them. Parents told me that they don't understand how he was suspended for 5 games when there's coaches on other sports who have done worse, such as what's happened in baseball, lacrosse, and even field hockey. Parents and players know Coach Dean made a mistake and that he owned up to it. But what they don't know is why these harsh punishments have happened, whereas previous coaches only receive minor punishments and are even possibly pending criminal lawsuits. Again, this is what I'm being told by parents. I'm not coming to you as a parent or as a president just speaking. Parents are telling me this. As a president, and now even as a parent, I still have no answers for them. All I know is the impact this is having on the players. Coach Dean is not loved and respected by just his players, but by parents, coaches, staff members, and other students in this community of Fallbrook. Parents are asking that the district reconsider their decision. And if not, at least tell us why. Why is this happening to this coach? And if you're gonna have a punishment like this on him for cussing, then you need to hold all coaches accountable for the previous incidents that were made, and they were much worse than what he did. Thank you.
Lindsay Jones. Lindsay Jones, public comments.
Good evening, board. Thank you for being here and serving our community. We pray for you daily. I just want to talk about something that I feel like I've been here before about. And it has to do with another great coach and leader at the school getting fired. It seems to me that this school district is hell-bent on firing teachers who connect well with students and make a difference. I am absolutely no fan of the F word. I will say that I have come to this board before, and I have professed my distaste with this type of literature that you have in this very room. I also would like to let you know, and I've come here before, that I'm sorry, I don't want to say this in front of the kids, but there are books in this room that teach kids how to use the F word, how to eat poop for sexual gratification, and you all are fine with that. In fact, you champion that. I am very confused about where you stand. I think this entire community is confused about where you stand. There are coaches who have not gotten fired for allowing obscenities to happen, but we have one coach who accidentally said a word in a box when a microphone accidentally picked it up. He did not say it to a child. He said a word behind closed doors, like the same words that are written on the literature in this room, and he got fired. When I uncertainly took my son and I placed him in this school district with hopes that he would be surrounded by community and uplifting words and positive leadership, I was relieved when I met Coach Dean. Not only does he truly know the kids, but he loves on them. He laughs with them. He's a true example of what it means to be a coach. He knows the families, he knows the students, and I can't say that for most of you. He is the kind of representation of Fallbrook that I would hope most people would expect of this school, minus the F word. I implore you not to get rid of another good leader. We are still mourning the loss of two amazing teachers and coaches who poured into our kids, and you got rid of them, and it's seriously disappointing. And I just want to take a moment to, as I am coming up to you really quickly, to have a moment, the rest of my time of silence for my hero, Charlie Kirk, who inspired me to make use of my First Amendment and speak truth in scary times. And so I would just like to use the rest of my time for that, please. Thank you.
There are no more public comments.
Thank you. Communications and reports. Report from student board representatives. Who would like to go first?
Good evening. My name is Kira Hart. This is my third and final year serving as the student board representative for Oasis High School. I chose Oasis for the opportunities its flexibility could and has provided for me. More specifically, the opportunity for concurrent enrollment. This has allowed me to attend Palomar College while still in high school, so that I will now graduate with both my diploma and associate's degree. My ultimate goal is to become a registered nurse, and I'm currently working on completing those prerequisites as well. Other than that, I volunteer at Bonzo Elementary School weekly and will be starting an internship with Palomar Health in the next few months. In other news, this school year has had a rapid and successful start, and we have multiple events and opportunities coming up at Oasis. Both Oasis and Ivy seniors can earn an OSHA 10 credential or food handler certificate, making them more desirable candidates as they enter the workforce. Moreover, juniors and sophomores who wish to sign up are scheduled to take the PSAT on October 8th. As you all know, this is an important tool for assessing college readiness and can provide high performers with scholarships. I am also excited to share that Oasis will be partnering with Palomar College to expand dual enrollment opportunities for our students. There will be 4 classes available in the spring, some of which will have a specific amount of seats reserved for our students. Students who are interested can reach out to Raquel Chavez for more information and help with scheduling. That is all I have to share for this meeting. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. My name is Emma Fierro. I am going to be one of the 2 board reps representing Ivy High School this school year. This is my second year at Ivy High School, and I decided the end of my sophomore year to join Ivy, not only because of the smaller environment, but because of the way the school is very interactive with their students. During my time at Ivy, I received an honor roll every trimester since being up here, which has been a big accomplishment for me. This year at Ivy, we are now doing an advisory every week called TIG, which I believe helps students stay on top of their attendance and schoolwork. TIG stands for Targeted Intervention and Guidance and is also short for TIGER. During TIG, students pick classes they would like additional support in during intervention on Fridays. Additionally, on Fridays, students attend enrichment programs with Art Empowers or Boys to Men. I believe these asset programs motivate kids to stay on top of their work so that they have the option to attend our enrichment programs. Additionally, Dr. Iverson's TIG class is focusing on students' leadership and how to improve culture at Ivy. This year, we plan to do senior sunrise, senior sunset, field days, and many more fun activities for students to participate in. I believe the TIG system is set up to hold students accountable for identifying their needs to stay on track with their work. Our college and career coordinators, Mr. Cabrera and Ms. Chavez, are helping students apply for scholarships and are setting up field trips to local colleges, trades days, the Behavioral Workforce Summit, and North County Fire Explorer programs. The reason I wanted to mention this is because Mr. Cabrera helps keep kids motivated to think about the next stage of life, which is great value at Ivy. September is Attendance Awareness Month, which encourages positive attendance. Ivy is holding an attendance incentive where if students get 90% attendance or better, they get to attend Boomer's field trip. This is a part of our work with CEI. This year, we have 2 new students representing our CEI, Jasleen Aguirre and Allison Robles. These students will attend conferences with our team this year and will brainstorm ideas to fight chronic absenteeism in our schools. This is my report for Ivy High School for the month of September. My fellow board representative, Nenny Cruz, will report for the month of October. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you all in November.
Good evening. My name is Charlize Polson, and I'm honored to serve as the Fallbrook High School ASB president and the school board representative for this school year. I'm currently a senior and also have the opportunity to show my school spirit participating on the FHS dance team. Today I will be sharing with you what has been happening on campus over the first month of school and what ASB is looking forward to as we move deeper into the school year. Starting with the first week of school, the ASB team hosted lunch activities to start off the year in a fun and welcoming tone. We played music and saw a lot of students participating every day. We also held a pep rally on the first day of school to showcase our school spirit. Every Friday, ASB continues to play music as a celebration of the last day of the week and the weekend ahead. A unique part of our ASB class is what we call our Staff Buddy system. Each ASB student is assigned to 1 or more staff members to keep them updated on school events. This builds a better connection between teachers and students while also allowing the staff to ask questions or provide input to ASB directly. Another big improvement that we've been able to make from the last few years has been our War Zone student section. We've had a lot more student volunteers signing up to help lead the crowd and energize the football games. This has been a great opportunity to see students engage and support our school teams. On September 6th, we hosted senior parking spot painting. It was a great day with so much community, and we saw a lot of parent support the whole day. Tomorrow, ASB will be hosting this year's first blood drive, which will take place from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. This also puts us in the perfect position to use it as a day of service to remember those lost in the 9/11 attacks. On the following day, September 12th, we will be hosting our annual club rush during lunch. This is always a good opportunity for students to explore and join new clubs and get more involved on campus. This year we have a lot of new additions, including the Environmental Club and the Red Cross Club. Looking farther ahead, homecoming is set for October 18th with our pep rally being held the day before on October 17th. ASB is already hard at work planning these events to ensure that they run smoothly. Overall, there has been a lot of hard work coming from our ASB team, and we are seeing a very positive impact on the campus already. Thank you for your time, and I'm opening to answering any questions.
Thank you, and welcome to the board. Next, we have report from principals. Who would like to go first? Ms. Gardner.
Good evening, everyone. Our board reps are so amazing. They've made my job very simple today. So we'll start with Ivy. Ivy has had a slow but steady increase in enrollment this year. We've essentially added 1 new student every week since the start of getting close to the start of the school year, including inviting a few new Bonsall students to join our Ivy family. As previously mentioned in our last board meeting, this year Ivy is focusing on the power of projection and student empowerment, and we're doing that by providing meaningful workshops for both students, staff, and parents. Last week, we were fortunate to welcome Dr. Victor Rios and Dr. Cynthia Villa to Ivy High School. Our Ivy High School staff, as well as some of our guests from Fallbrook High School, engaged in a really meaningful PD, the first of what will be 9 this year. This particular PD focused on deficit language and reframing communication style to support student empowerment. Feedback from the staff was overwhelmingly positive. I didn't take offense when they said usually our PDs creep by, but this one went incredibly quickly, and our staff was able to walk away with real-time strategies for both social emotional learning and hands-on instructional strategies that they look forward to implementing right away. Following our staff meeting, we moved directly into a parent workshop here in the College and Career Center. We had a really outstanding turnout of both parents and students. As a matter of fact, Dr. Rios even mentioned that he'd never had a meeting where so many students were fortunate to attend as well as parents. It was a beautiful event to see and powerful to see our students and parents working together to identify their communication styles and how they can collectively improve meaningful and mutual communication. Our next workshop will be on October 8th. And not only will that be open to Ivy parents as well as Fallbrook and Oasis parents as well, including our partners at the elementary school district. It'll be here downstairs in the College and Career Center. Even though we had a great turnout for the first workshop, I know that the word of mouth is going to spread about these meaningful interactions and the supports we're providing to our parents, and we look forward to welcoming this team back on October 8th as well as October 26th. The next workshop is going to be focused on parenthood and guidance and providing guidance for discipline, which we know is something that can be very challenging for parents, and I'm speaking for myself personally. Speaking of October 8th, just around the corner, we will be having our PSAT day. It's not only for Ivy and Oasis, but Fallbrook as well. Our 11th grade students are going to be taking the PSAT, and while that is going on, as Kira mentioned, both our Ivy and Oasis seniors will have the opportunity to earn an industry credential for either the OSHA 10 or the food handler certification. We've been doing this for the past several years at Ivy, and we're really excited to continue to extend that opportunity to our Oasis students as well. Questions that you might have for me?
None yet. I'll wait for my public comment.
Okay.
No question, though, but thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I just have a few short things to share from the first few weeks of the school year. We just wrapped up Unit 1 in our assessment, so in our core content area classes, math, ELA, social science, and then also in world languages, our students just took Unit 1 assessments, and our teachers actually got together today to go through the data and look at how our students are performing. We had a lot of bright spots that came out in that conversation today that we shouted out and are really proud of where our students are after just 4 weeks of the year. Additionally, we are on the verge of our first grading period, which has flown by. So midterm grades are actually coming out. The grading period closes the end of next week. Teachers will have a couple of days to make sure grades are entered, and then parents can expect to see grades in the portal the beginning of or middle of the week after that. So we are buzzing right along in first trimester. I do also want to piggyback off of what Ms. Gardner shared about our college and career kickoff. We have typically hosted a one-day kind of college and career kickoff. We've offered a lot of opportunities for students in grades 9 through 12 on that day. And we really wanted to expand that because one day does not college and career ready make. So we're starting a little early, and then we're implementing some things throughout the month. Beginning next Friday, September 19th, Ms. Kane has been really instrumental in getting about, I think we have 18 or 19 colleges at this point. So trade schools, junior colleges, and four-year universities coming onto campus. They'll be hosting sessions for our 11th and 12th graders during WPT, and then also running a fair at lunch where our students can come and get additional information in case they couldn't attend one of the university options. It's kind of a cool collection of schools and universities that have volunteered to be here with us that day, representing both local schools and then also schools from out of state, just so that students know what options are there. We know sometimes it's hard to go and visit a place when it's far away, so we're trying to bring some of those options here as well. We appreciate our teachers who have opened up their classrooms to host those visits, since we need 18 spots across the entire campus in order to do that. So excited to be able to offer that this year. That's something new. And then also on the 8th of October, we are doing the PSAT with our 11th graders, but something that's new this year as well is that we are opening up the ASVAB, which is the, typically our ROTC students take it, but it does provide a lot of information in regards to student aptitude. So our 11th graders will also have the option to opt into the ASVAB on that day, alongside our ROTC students. The 9th and 10th graders a lot of times do activities, and we wanted to prioritize some of those activities being more widely available. So they will be doing some interim assessment blocks that will give us some idea, since we do not do formal testing for the CAS, for state testing in 9th and 10th grade. They'll actually get a chance to see what the test looks like and try some of that out. And it will help us also to know how our students are doing before they hit that 11th grade test, so it's not a surprise to them. So excited about some of those changes. The last thing I wanted to share is just that for the second year in a row, we've received information that we've made the U.S. News report at Fallbrook High School, which is amazing. That they call it the Best High Schools report. Obviously, there's a lot of strong competition in the state and nationwide, so it's really a pleasure to have them recognize what our students are doing here on campus. Part of the way that that's determined is they look at the percentage of students that have taken at least one AP or IB exam. They look at the percentage of students who passed at least one AP or IB exam. They also look at our math proficiency, our reading proficiency, our science proficiency, and then our graduation rate, and that's part of what plays into determining that award. So something to be celebrated, and again, very much reflective of the hard work of our students and then of our staff as well. So any questions for me today? Thank you.
None. Thank you. Next, we have report from board members. Would anyone like to go first?
I'll go first since I haven't been here for a few months, and I first of all wanted to thank our staff and Mrs. Garza Gonzalez, and as well as the fellow board members for being so supportive. While I was gone, I lost my father in late May, and went through that whole process of him in hospice, and then came back home, and my mother was extremely affected by that. So I've just spent the last 2 months in Utah helping getting her resettled into a new home and helping her face this life forward, which brings me to family is really at the end of the day what is closest to our hearts. And so that's my family and my ability to honor my mother and my father in doing that. And then obviously coming back home to my own personal family. And then this is an extension of my family. And I love the commitment that I see here from all of our staff, from our leaders, from the board, from our administrators. And I just want to do a shout out to our student leaders. I really admire that greatly, and I'm so glad to see you step up, because at the end of the day, this is what we're all about. This is what we're here for, to help you have better futures and paths forward. And I love seeing how you take that on and how you really make it work in your life. And we want to expand that to all of our students. And so I'm very proud to be a part of that, and just a big thank you.
Yeah, I kind of have almost the same message. I want to start out by thanking our student board representatives. Two of you I don't think I've met. I've met one of you a couple times. I want to thank you for the same reasons for participating and helping us out. It's why we're here. Everything Tana said. So thank you very much. Hopefully we don't take up too much of your time, but we appreciate it. You heard us talking today and got a detailed report on chronic absenteeism. I'd like to know your opinions. So I'd like you to kind of think about that a little bit, and maybe in the future we talk about it again, because we really want the students' perspective on that problem. So thank you for that. Lastly, I just want to say is that they're not here right now, but maybe somebody's watching. I want to thank the public for coming out and speaking. I know sometimes that's challenging. We appreciate it and want to hear what they have to say, because we take notes, it starts conversations, we find out more information. So thank you to everybody that came out and talked to us.
Not really a personal note, but just the fact that the ASVAB is becoming more of an opportunity for students. I think more than, at least in my lifetime, that access is something that, given circumstances in today's housing market and healthcare and student loans, as a veteran, I would ask as many young people as possible to pursue that route, because it's the closest thing you can get to a video game cheat code as a young adult, because it sets you up foundationally better than probably anything else I can think of, and that's coming from someone. I went to college and then joined the military, but I think that right now it's really hard, and I was thinking about that during the graduation, because we haven't set up our young people for success at this point, and I think that given that there were a lot of people that I know in my line of work who are struggling to buy their first house, and they're closer to 30, they have careers, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for it to happen. And quite simply put, I think the military is probably the best option for most people. And if you're not considering it, I think you should take a second look, because you'll be glad you did.
Thank you. There's a lot going on. I attended many events, so I'm going to try to summarize it quickly. First and foremost, welcome to the student reps. I graduated from Fallbrook High in 2009. When I was here, all I knew was teacher and principal. I had no idea that directors, superintendents, and boards existed, so for you to be a student board rep is a big deal. Kudos to you. Next, attended the back to school night. I want to give a big thanks to all the staff members that were here, campus supervisors or maintenance, and especially teachers and administrators who opened up the doors, welcomed family members, and spoke to them, shared with them what the year looks like. Something I want to say that I was really impressed by is that towards the end of the back to school night, this entire library was filled with department folks. So people from the math department, from the Spanish department, and so on were here, and parents came to just talk to the department staff members. So that was really cool to see, just a room full of school leaders and community members. Next, I want to give a big props to all the teams that are going on right now, the games, field hockey, tennis, cross country, football, swim, and so many more. Students are off to a great start. There's a lot of competitive games, and good luck to all of them. Lastly, I want to ask the fire department to not recruit our very own Miss Gardner. I don't know if y'all knew, but there was a fire at Ivy High School, a small fire that she caught right away, and it could have gone worse. It could have destroyed our entire restroom. It could have extended to the other buildings, but Ms. Gardner got the fire extinguisher, ran over there, flew over there, right, and then turned it off. So I just want to say thank you for doing that. The work that you do is magnificent, and it's just a testament, the stuff that you are willing to do for the kids, for the school, for the district, for the community. Thank you. It wasn't the last one, but lastly, again, a big kudos to all the staff members who are working on the schedules for trimester 1, trimester 2, trimester 3. I know that there's so much going on with balancing AP classes, IB classes, ROTC, sports, dual language, dual immersion, and so on. There's so much there, so I just want to say, just thank you for collaborating. Thank you for, just working together. I would love to be in one of the meetings where I can see how the thought process goes, because I'm just so interested in it, because there's just so much to do. And you get it done. So thanks. That's it for me. Next, report from superintendent.
Yes, so before, and I'm not going to use the clicker, I'm just going to say next slide, please. I think it might go smoother. There's a very important person in the audience that I'd like to introduce. Ashlyn Trujillo, if you could please stand up. So Ashlyn is going to be our alternate student board representative for Fallbrook High School, and she didn't get a chance to introduce herself tonight, but she will when she's sitting here with us, and I just wanted to make everybody aware that she was here, and I wanted to introduce her. So thank you, Ashlyn. Okay, so we have talked about this in the past, but I want to, now that it's officially set up, introduce or talk to you about Fallbrook Union High School District's Education Foundation. It is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to enhancing student success and strengthening our community. Next slide, please. Our mission is simple but powerful: to mobilize community support and resources that help our students thrive. We do this through scholarships, academic and extracurricular investments, and by strengthening programs in athletics, arts, and enrichment. In short, we connect generosity with opportunity. Next slide. So why do we need a foundation? Why do our students need us? While state funding is critical, it doesn't cover everything, and that's where our foundation comes in. We expand real-world learning, offer internships and mentorships, and create opportunities in academics, arts, and athletics. Most importantly, we want to ensure that every student, regardless of their background, has access to experiences that prepare them for college, career, and life. So I know that many people are aware that that we have a 78% of our students in the district are identified as socioeconomically disadvantaged. And what that means is that they qualify for free or reduced lunch. So to give you an idea of what we're talking about, to qualify, a family of 4, in order to qualify for free lunch in a school district, has to make $48,000 a year or less. So think about that. A family of 4, $48,000 a year or less. To qualify for reduced lunch, a family of 4 would have to have an annual income of less than $52,000. And that's one of the main reasons why we want to ensure, again, that every one of our students has access to experiences that prepare them for college, for career, and for life. Next slide, please. So we have 4 goals. Our foundation focuses on these 4 priorities: scholarships that open doors. We want to modernize our community aquatic center, strengthen athletics and art programs, and expand experiential learning. And I'm going to talk about each of these in a little bit more depth. Next slide, please. So we know that scholarships truly change lives. They break down financial barriers, they celebrate resilience, and they honor donor legacies. Each award is more than a dollar amount. It's a vote of confidence in our students and their future. And if you've been to our senior awards night, you know that the community of Fallbrook invests a lot of money into scholarships. But we would like other ways to manage this money. We have a number of legacy scholarships, the McGee Foundation, that was being handled by a bank. It's a trust fund, and they were unwilling or unable to continue with that. The foundation can now manage those funds. We also have 2 other legacy donors that we are setting up through our foundation. We have a new one that walked through our doors and basically sat down with Ms. Mefford and myself and said, one of my relatives just passed away. They've left money for a scholarship. It specifically has to go to an English language learner. So when you do a legacy scholarship, you get to decide who that scholarship goes to, so that it's not always going to our students who are academically successful. It can go to anyone. And Ms. Mefford and I were sitting there explaining, well, you could set it up where it's $1,000 or $5,000, and you can decide if they have to show proof of being enrolled in college, et cetera. And he stopped us and said, if I only gave $5,000, you would never run out of this money. We were thinking of possibly paying for a full ride. That's how much money is here for an English language learner, because I believe it was his cousin that had passed, was a teacher, and she taught English language learners, and that's where her heart was, and she left all of this money, and then he threw in, and we also have 2 properties. Can we just give those to you to figure out what to do with them? Again, the foundation enables us to do those things, and it's a great way to honor a loved one. Next slide, please. So I know we've talked a lot about our pool, and we had a bond that went out to voters last year that unfortunately did not pass. We still need a pool, and we need one because we know that an aquatic center is a hub for health and community. Everyone that I've encountered here in Fallbrook has a son, a daughter, a grandson, granddaughter, neighbor, someone that they know who learned to swim at the Fallbrook High School pool. And our pool has basically outlived its life. It is still functioning because, like we've mentioned numerous times today, we have an amazing maintenance, operations, and transportation department that treats it with tender, loving care. But we would like safe, modern facility for students and families. It expands wellness, training, and recreation opportunities. It strengthens community pride through a shared space. Our aquatic center is more than a pool. It's a community hub, and with modernization, it will serve not just the students, but the families across Fallbrook. It's a place for safety training, wellness programs, athletics, and recreation that bring people together. And there are people in this community who would like to find a way to donate money towards building the aquatic center. Again, the foundation will serve that purpose. Next slide, please. We believe in empowering creativity and teamwork. Arts and athletics are essential to developing the whole child. Through these programs, students discover their talents, build their confidence, and learn teamwork. And it may be a surprise to many that many of our students don't come to school to learn math, reading, science, social science. They're here because they love art, or they love dance, or they love theater, or they love music, or they're an athlete and they want to participate in school sports. So by investing in equipment, travel, and performances, we nurture future leaders both on the field and on the stage. And this came about, a community member approached me and said, you know, we give so much money to field hockey, to baseball, to football, to cheer, to dance. Wouldn't it be great if we could give one big donation, one time, and have it go to the programs that we designate? Again, an educational foundation is able to do that. Next slide. Experiential learning programs. We're committed to hands-on learning that connect the classroom to the real world. From internships to service projects, these experiences equip students with adaptability, problem solving, and career-ready skills that last a lifetime. As Trustee Haskell noted earlier on when he was speaking about the ASVAB, the ASVAB is a first step that tells you might be interested in this, things that students might never consider. There is a program that's coming up, Spa Day, that we'll hold at the end of the month. We held it last year. We had a firefighter who was a graduate of Fallbrook High School, and Kira, who was interested in fire science, actually hooked up with her, learned about the explorers, and started doing work there. So the more that we can expose our students to those experiences, the better equipped they will be to find something in life that makes them happy and that they can make a living from. Next slide, please. So how does an educational foundation operate? It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It's governed by a board of community leaders, educators, and district representatives, and we function with transparency. There's annual reports, donor recognition, fund tracking, and we know that's important, and the reason that I put that picture of our ROTC students is because, to me, that communicates trust. But trust can't be built if you're not transparent. And that is one of the things that we hope to accomplish, is to have the community trust in this foundation through the practices that will be transparent for all. Next slide, please. So how can the community engage? Donate to scholarships, aquatics, arts, athletics, sponsor specific programs, volunteer or serve on advisory committees. We would like to bring more people onto our board. We will be sending out through our social media accounts and the local newspaper information on that, and help spread the word and amplify our mission. The foundation is proud to put donor-directed funds to work where they matter the most, supporting student success and enriching the vitality of our community. The foundation is proud, and this is where the community can come in. You can donate, sponsor programs, volunteer expertise, and simply spread the words. Every act of support, big or small, helps create extraordinary futures for our students. Next slide, please. And we do have a shared vision for Fallbrook, a thriving aquatic center at the heart of our town, expanded arts and athletics enriching student and community life, students prepared for leadership in college, career, and beyond, and community partnerships sustaining success. Basically, next slide, we are inspiring student success, building community strength. And that is one of our goals. On behalf of our students, thank you for supporting education in Fallbrook. And before I end tonight, I have two things that I'd like to mention. Many of you know, many of you may have forgotten, we have 3 firefighters who serve on our board. Trustee Christensen, who is not here tonight, Trustee Haskell, and Trustee Jones, who, aside from the public service that they provide, also provide public service as board members. Trustee Christensen is not here tonight because he just came back from a strike team in, I think it was Central California, and just, it was difficult. Trustee Jones arrived, I think, about 30 minutes before the board meeting got started from a strike team in Central California, and I think both were gone 10 to 15 days. So I just want to say thank you, and Trustee Jones, if you need to leave, we understand. Finally, and we had something similar earlier, this to me is far more important. Before we close, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the tragic events that unfolded today at Evergreen High School in Colorado. Our hearts are with the students, the families, and educators impacted by the senseless act of violence. It's a sobering reminder of the importance of safety, connection, and community in every school. Thank you.
Thank you. Public hearing session. I would like to call the public hearing for the sufficiency of instructional materials 2025-2026 to order at 6:47 p.m. for the Fallbrook Union High School District. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Trustees of the Fallbrook Union High School District will conduct a public hearing to determine that every pupil, including English learners, has sufficient textbooks or instructional materials in the subjects of mathematics, science, history, social science, and reading language arts that are aligned to the state academic and consistent with the content and cycles, including the English language development component of an adopted program of the curriculum frameworks. Are there any public comments for the public hearing for the sufficiency of instructional materials 2025-2026?
There are no public comments, but I believe Ms. Toon has something to say. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Garza Gonzalez, President Cara Lumpio, and members of the board. Every year, our schools evaluate sufficiency of instructional materials as defined by Ed Code 60119. It just basically means that we are checking to make sure that every single one of our students has the instructional materials they need both on campus and at home. That Ed Code does not necessarily mean that they need to have 2 sets of books. However, I am pleased to say that we've done a lot of work over the past few years, and in most cases, students have a class set here on campus, they have a set of books at home, and then in many cases, they also have digital access so that we are covering as many bases as possible. Additionally, we had a Williams visit this year, and that is basically a visit where they come in to check our instructional materials, they come in to check our facilities, and we walked away from that visit. As Ms. Mara Bauer indicated earlier in the meeting, we had immediately a response for our facilities that they were in good condition. And then a week or 2 later, we received information saying that we were sufficient in all areas of instructional materials. And that is in large part due to our technology team, because we have done a lot of work to integrate all of those different companies and textbooks and publishers into ClassLink so that students can access all of those resources in one area, as well as our teachers in one area. Our MOT staff has done an excellent job with our facilities. We involved all of our staff members as well, so they did an excellent job making sure that all information was being communicated to students. They were on the lookout for anything that might be in need of repair for MOT. And so, as I said, and then our site admin who led the charge for all of that. So I'm pleased to say that we are sufficient in all areas.
It's a lot of inventory. Thank you. Any other comments? None? Thank you for your comments to the board on this topic. I'm adjourning the public hearing at 6:50 p.m. Next, action item, resolution number 02-2526, sufficiency of instructional materials 2025-2026. Can I get a motion?
I move that the board approve resolution number 02-2526, sufficiency of instructional materials 2525-26 as presented.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Moved by Mr. Haskell, second by Mr. Jones. Any comments or questions? Board members, our student board members had to go home. Cara Lumpio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
and Ms. Rodarte.
Aye.
Next, business services, action item, unaudited actuals financial report 2024-2025. Can I get a motion?
I'll move that the board approve the unaudited actuals financial report 2024-2025 as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Rodarte. Mr. Jones, do we have a presentation?
Yes, we do.
Okay, good evening. The unaudited actuals are all of the actual expenditures and revenues received and spent in the 24-25 fiscal year. There's no budget, there's no projection. This is just the real deal, what we received and what we spent. LCFF sources, those are our property taxes and our state aid. On the unrestricted side, we received $31.1 million. The restricted side is $105,000. That's the property tax that we receive for special education. So that's a total of LCFF resources of $31,246,811. The federal unrestricted is $1,895,981. That is our impact aid money. That's federal unrestricted. The restricted is 3.5. Those are all of our title grants, our federal mental health, our IDEA, Title I, Title II, all of those. So for a total of $5,478,667. Our other state is 1.6 unrestricted and 3.2 restricted. Those are, on the unrestricted side, that's lottery, that's the mandate block grant. On the restricted, that is many of our state grants that go through student services that Dr. Luna manages, our ag grants, we have a learning recovery emergency block grant, we have career readiness, several. So that's actually the revenue we received for those. And the local is 1.1 million, and on the unrestricted and the restricted is 1.7, and those are made up of several different areas. There are use of facilities that we do, renting out the PAC, the fields. There's a lot in interest because since we had so much money from our ESSER funds still sitting in the county treasury through the 24-25 school year, our interest was higher than usual. I budgeted I budgeted $287,000, and we actually received $474. So that's, don't count on that, it won't continue, but it was because we had such a large amount of cash in there. So that all falls under the local revenue. There's also, you have to do an actual, when you close the book now, fair value of investments. It's just a journal entry, but it did increase that by $241,000. What it is because when we were in the COVID times and the stock market wasn't doing well, the money in our cash at the county treasury we were losing money in the stock market. So we actually had to put a cash value to that at the end of the year. So we had to decrease the value. And it continued to decrease. This is the first year it's actually increased. So that is why the money at the treasury increased by $241,000. So that's not real money we received, but that's the value. We had our money, we just had to move. We get some Medi-Cal money, and we get small money, which is for Medi-Cal students. And so we have that. Those are our basic ones. We take in cash from the summer swim program, our community engagement grant that is ran by our superintendent, and she does things, community engagement, so we have money in there. So those are all the items that make up the local. So total, our unrestricted that we received for the 24-25 school year was $35,837,524 in unrestricted, $8,673,416 in restricted, for a total revenue of $44,510,940. And then this is our expenditures. So the restricted revenues can only be spent on restricted expenditures because they're all dictated by the grant. The grant tells you this is the money that you're allotted and this is how you can spend it. So we spent for certificated salaries between unrestricted and restricted, we spent $15,788,827. Classified salaries, we spent a total of $6,906,000. Employee benefits is $6,400,000. I won't break down unrestricted, restricted, it's a lot of numbers. But total overall employee benefits was $10.2 million, and that's STRS, that's PERS, that's our health benefits, that's all the statutory benefits. And in that, there's also, we have to account for our OPEB, which is our other post-employment benefits, because we still provide health benefits to our retirees until they're Medicare eligible. So that's included in there. Our books and supplies for a total of a little over $2 million. Services and other outgo, we spent $8,082,651. That encompasses a lot. That's all of our utilities, that's all of our transportation, that's all of our property and liability insurance, that's our legal fees, that's any consultants that we hire, all of our software, so all of those items, professional development, travel conference, all of that falls under the services and other outgo. Capital outlay, that's either big items that are over $5,000 that we have to include on our audit because they have to have an accumulated depreciation. So, and on the unrestricted, what we did, we usually don't see that large of amount, but as you know, we were using developer fees to do the ag project. And so, and we also got the new portables that are over on campus. Well, we ran out of developer fees. We finally exhausted them all. And since our bond is coming close to the end, and it's pretty much earmarked for the electrical project, and what we've learned in all of this construction is this school site has many unforeseen conditions, and someone's always coming up, and there's always, you know, we come to you with change orders. So we didn't want to spend all of the bond money and then not have enough to finish the electrical and all of that. So since we did have excess reserves and a healthy fund balance, we used some of that, and that is also, but some of that is the money from impact aid. Every year I come to the board and I say, we budget $1 million of impact aid, and if we get more money than we budget, then we usually pull that out and we either transfer it to Fund 40, which is our capital outlay fund, I'll discuss in a minute, or that's also the money that we use to make our contribution to our OPEB fund, because we do have a trust with CalPERS that we started a few years back. And we do try to we get an actuarial evaluation every year, and they recommend how much money we should be depositing in there, so that decreases our unfunded liability. So that's all part of it, and we actually did that this year, and so that's what increases that amount there. So total capital outlay was $2.7 million. North County Consortium for Special Ed and Juvenile Court Schools, those are our students that are at North County Academy or our students that are in the Juvenile Detention Center, and the excess cost for those is the district's responsibility. So we did spend $966,683 on the students in those facilities. And then our indirect costs, since we did spend all of our CARES funds, our COVID funds, and our others grants, we are able to take an allowed indirect cost rate. And so when I transfer that, That's why it's a negative on the indirect cost, so that's actually $129,000 that came to us that we charged those grants for our administrating and all the work that we do on our end for those grants. And that also includes the money that we charge food services. There are about $70-some thousand that we get to charge them that comes back. And that's the reason that's a negative, because it's revenue taken in offsetting the expenditures. So our total expenditures were $46,658,165. So now we get to our ending fund balance. We started this year, the 24-25 school year, with $8,163,955. We ended with a little over $5 million, and that looks alarming, but I can explain. So first of all, you have your beginning balance, you add your revenue, you subtract your expenditures, that gives you your ending fund balance in a nutshell. And then our ending fund balance, we have to always make sure we have whatever amount is in our revolving cash account. And usually it's always $35,000 because that's where we try to keep it. But it's always going to show exactly on unaudited actuals because it's the actual bank balance that was really in there as of June 30th. So out of that ending fund balance, if you subtract the $38,000 for revolving cash, and then you subtract the 3% reserve for the economic uncertainty, which is required by the state in order to file a positive budget, we ended with $3,595,738. So that's what we have in our savings account now. That will be our beginning balance for 25-26 school year. And I'll go into all that in more detail when I come back in December to discuss the first interim with you. So that was our ending fund balance. And then that's all Fund 1, our main fund. And then we have our Fund 13. Fund 13 is our cafeteria, our food services. Cafeteria is still carrying a very hefty fund balance, which was all accumulated during the COVID time when we were out there doing grab-and-go lunches, and we got a lot of money. We have 10 years to spend that down because in Fund 13, you're not allowed to have more than 3 months operating expenditures. And currently, we have far more than that. We're about halfway through our 10-year hold harmless that they gave us. So we started the 24-25 school year with $3.5 million. We took in $2 million. We spent 1.9. So we're ending higher than we started with 3.6. It's a nice problem to have, but it's still a problem because we have to figure out how to spend that money. Fund 21 is our building fund. And so we started the 24-25 school year with $16.4 million. This is what we had left from our Measure A bond. We received $698,069. That's interest that was earned. That's why we have a revenue. The expenditures that we spent on the CTE building and all the other projects that we were doing here, $11.2 million. So we ended the 24-25 school year with just under $6 million. So that will be the balance that we're now starting in 25-26. Fund 25 developer fees, we started with $2.7 million. We received $123,000. That could be local. We don't have any big housing developments being built anymore, so the revenues we take in are limited to just local people adding on to their homes, building ADUs and whatnot. So that's where the revenue comes from there, $123,000. Our expenditures were $2,880,216. All of that was on the ag project, and that's what depleted our developer fees. So as of the end of 24-25, we have zero. Fund 40, that is where the board has directed us anytime we have that unanticipated revenue that comes from impact aid. We do a transfer and we move it into Fund 40, and we do that whenever we can. And so we ended the 24-25, we started the 24-25 school year with $1,839,152. We received a little over $100,000 in interest. We did transfer from our general fund the impact aid money of $1.5 million. So that had us end the year with $3,492,759. Those are all of the funds that the district has. Are there any questions?
I do have one question. On the Fund 13 cafeteria special revenue, you had mentioned that a lot of that is leftover money from COVID. So I'm really glad to see that this, because I was not on the board at the time, I'm glad to see that the district was so wise with its money, because a lot of school districts were not and caused themselves a lot of issues with how that money was utilized. So you said it's about a 10-year process to go through it all. We're about halfway through. What kind of limitations are put on that funding or not put on that funding in terms of when we are close to the end of the whole thing, where we can put that money at that point?
It is so restrictive. It can only be used, like, they need so much facility work in the cafeteria and the kitchen, and Fund 13 cannot pay for it. It cannot pay for anything that's a permanent fixture. It can only buy things as long as they're mobile. The minute that it attaches to the wall, it now becomes part of the building, and Fund 13 cannot pay for it. She's invested a lot, she by being Judy, our Director of Food Services, she's invested in like the Chef Ann Foundation. She's had training come out. She's had a lot of professional development for her staff. She's increased the level of meals and the quality of food. She's joining with Farm to School. She's done everything possible. She's bought every piece of equipment that she can, but we don't have the electrical infrastructure to sustain some of the equipment that she needs. She doesn't have the space, so there's so many limitations. So she's always coming up with a plan, and I feel great that she at least got the 10 years to spend it, because ever since I've been in this district, every year for the first 3 months of the year, we had to do a loan from the general fund to Fund 13, because it always started out negative until we hit about September, October, and then they'd stand, but they always ended up with barely any money. So because it's so restricted, that is one thing in my CBO group, when we get to talk to some of the state assembly people, we do let them know, if you would release some of these restrictions, we could do a lot more good.
Thank you, that really helps a lot, and I do agree. I mean, we're seeing it firsthand, we're experiencing the food here, but perhaps part of that also, and maybe that's through the foundation at some point, if there were, and again, this is all hypothetical, if there were funding to handle some of the construction that would be required to purchase more temporary type ovens, refrigerators that are on wheels that are not permanently attached, that, perhaps that is somewhere, we could then put more of that funding toward that, and that may end up working well for the school as well, as it serves, lots of parts of campus, and we have such a large campus.
I was going to add that a lot of the professional development that we've invested in has resulted in our program being recognized by the state and by the Chef Ann Foundation. And one of the next big purchases is going to be a mobile kitchen. So I don't want to call it a food truck, but a food truck. A mobile kitchen that we can utilize to promote some of the great things that our nutrition services is conducting, and we are looking at the specs on that and seeing what we can do. And once the electrical upgrade is completed, then she will be able to purchase some of the other equipment. But if she purchases that equipment and connects it, it will take down the whole school, and we cannot afford to have that happen.
Love to hear that direction. Thank you.
Just a quick one, the NCCSE and JCCS expenditures, what are those per student?
We don't have that, like in the NCA, the North County Academy, we had 4 students there this year. And the JCCS, they're so fluid, it comes in and out, so I could do the math.
No, only if it was easily accessible. I just was curious if there was like a number amount per student that we paid for that.
There is a set amount, but each program is different. So JCCS, for example, we only pay when the student actually shows up to class or to the independent studies. The other programs that are run through the North County Consortium for Special Education, those are a little bit more expensive. And what is very expensive is the transportation, because one of the programs is located in Carlsbad, and the other one, I know it's like almost like an hour bus ride each way for the students that attend there, but all of that is dictated through the IEP, they're non-public schools. It's still considerably less than when we have to have a student attend a non-public school out of state.
Thank you.
Brenda, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming, man. Student board reps are not here. Mr. Caralampio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones going home to rest. Ms. Rodarte?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, action item, recommendation to approve contract amendment number 10 with Renew Clark Architects to provide architectural and engineering design services for the CTE building at Fallbrook High School.
I'll move that the board approve the recommendation to approve contract amendment number 10 with Runau Clark Architects to provide architectural and engineering design services for the CTE building at Fallbrook High School as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Rodarte, second by Mr. Haskell. Any comments or questions? Student board reps are not here. Mr. Caralampio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Jones is not here. Ms. Rodarte?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, action item, recommendation to approve change order number 5 for bid number 2324-01.R1 with Bakeko, Inc. for the Agricultural Department upgrades projects at Fallbrook High School.
I will move that the board approve the recommendation to approve change order number 5 for bid number 2324-01.R1 with Waco Incorporated for the Agricultural Department upgrades project at Fallbrook High School as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Rodarte, second by Mr. Haskell. Comments or questions? Student board reps are not here. Mr. Caralampio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones is not here. Ms. Rodarte?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, action item, resolution number 03-2526, appropriations limit can.
I move that the board approve resolution number 03-2526, appropriations limit as presented.
Oh, sorry. I'll second.
And Ms. Mefford, can you speak a little bit about GAN and what that stands for?
Yes, this is, it's actually named after Paul Gann. This was back in 1979. It was Proposition 4, where the voters wanted to make sure that public entities were held to appropriations limits. And so, as far as the calculation, it's pretty pro forma. I don't have to do anything. As we put all of our revenues and expenditures into the SACS forms, which is the standardized account code structure for the state of California, all school districts use the same software, it comes up with the limit. And so your like our limit for this year was $20,240,171. So we cannot have more revenue from the state, no more state aid than that. And we do not, because our state aid portion is a little over 17 million, and then our local property tax is 13 million. So that together gives us our LCFF, where you saw in the LCFF revenue. So we passed the GAN limit, and so it's kind of an automatic. You know, some people say, why is it still around? But what does it really do? So, but that's what it is. It's just to make sure that we're not receiving too much excess appropriation from the state.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
And to clarify, it is an action item? Yes, okay.
Thank you.
I was going to say, I was asking because it's missing the roll call, but you know that by heart.
Yeah. Board reps are not here. Mr. Caralampio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones is absent, and Ms. Rodarte.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have Superintendent Human Resources. Action item, revised, new, and deleted board policies and administrative regulation and exhibits.
I move that the board approve in the second reading the revised, new, and deleted board policies, administrative regulations, exhibits, and bylaws as presented.
I second that motion.
Thank you. Comments or questions? None. Student board reps are not here. Mr. Caralampio votes aye. Mr. Christensen is absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones is absent, and Ms. Rodarte.
Aye.
Thank you. Finally, consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the Board of Trustees to be routine and will be enacted with one action. There's usually no discussion of these items prior to the time of the Board of Trustees vote on the motion unless members of the board request specific items to be discussed or deleted from the consent agenda.
I will move that the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Ms. Rodarte, second by Mr. Haskell. Student board reps are not here. Mr. Campio votes aye. Mr. Christensen absent. Mr. Haskell?
Aye.
Mr. Jones is absent. Ms. Rodarte?
Aye.
Thank you. Organizational matters. This is the appropriate place in the agenda for members of the board to request the superintendent provide further information regarding items discussed at this meeting and/or request that new items of business be placed on future agendas. Do we have any organizational matters? None? Date and time of next meeting. The next regular meeting of the Board of Trustees will be held on October 15th at 4:30 p.m. in Fallbrook High School Library. There being no further business to come before the board, the regular meeting of September 10th, 2025 was adjourned at 7:18 p.m. by Oscar Caralampio. Thank you.